Thank you. You're welcome again to another day of the book club. We're on to chapter 10. We've been reading into a book by our dear sister, uh, Akin Akinbodunse, Believe It. And we've been going through the chapters. Today we're going to chapter 10 today. And introduce the book, the story of a person, the story of ourselves, and how we can go from where we are to becoming all that God wants us to be. And we're on to chapter 10 today, and the title of chapter 10 is "I Believe That Being Brave, Being Bold is better than being liked." So we're like, in life, we have a choice between two, whether we want to be liked, and if you choose to be liked, then you choose to be a prisoner of all. That just comes to mind. There was a picture actually I would have shown, and I think I can show it also here because I picture here for me. It just a quote that probably just fits into our discussion this afternoon. When you care about what people think, what people think about you, you will always be their prisoner, right? If you want to live your life being worried or carried away about what people think about you, you're always going to be their prisoner, right? And that's not the way to live life. The way to live life is not to live life from outside in, it's to live life from inside out. That is the way God, the Creator, has made life to be lived. And if you live your life from outside in, then you are oppressed. You are living other people's vision, right? But if you live your life from inside out, then you begin to live the purpose, the reason for your existence, the reason for your creation, your reason for being here, right? Because the reason for your being here is on the inside of you, and that's what the world needs, right? So you have to first, and that's what we're going to discuss today. The world needs what's inside of you, so you need to know how to cause that to come out into being, because only then can you live the fullness expression of all that the Father has made you to be. And that's what we'll be discussing here today. So one of the first quote that Amy had there as saying, "I am throwing away my shot." It says, "I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot." And she brought that from Hamilton, the musical. And the key thing that we're getting from that is the fact that you don't want to waste your opportunities in life. Again, we've talked about serendipity, we've talked about luck, and we know that luck is when opportunity means preparedness, right? There are only going to be so many opportunities in life, as much as opportunities come in waves, right? Continually, but they're numbered vis-a-vis our own time here, and you don't want to waste them. The only way you are going to not waste opportunity, first of all, is to prepare, right? Is to prepare. Because until you are prepared, then you cannot utilize or captivate or harness the opportunities that life gives to you. Therefore, they become useless on your behalf because you're not able to put them into use to get the result you're supposed to get out of them, right? So you don't want to waste the opportunities. They're going to come in waves. The more opportunities you're able to capture and harness, the richer and the faster and the earlier and the more abundant you can live the fullness expression of the life that you are made to live on this side of eternity, right? And that goes to the popular quote. I mean, this quote here, even though it was not originally by Steve Jobs, but Steve Jobs kind of made it popular in one of the commencement talks that he gave. And he referred to this quote, and it's has become popular. We're going to try and dissect this, even as we discussed today. And he read, it says, "Here's the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs and the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They are not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. you can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. And while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Right? And we're going to break that down. First of all, here's to the crazy ones. Right? Everyone that has had to make a change in our path towards civilization has always been seen to be the crazy ones, right? Be it Jesus Christ, be it the Wright brothers, you know, and those oppositions come from the most unexpected places, right? People you expect to support you, but when they cannot see what you are seeing, they seemingly think that you are crazy, that you are mad, and they seemingly want to stand against you, thinking that they are helping you, and even in doing that. But it's up to you to be able to understand and refuse to be limited by their own limitedness and go beyond captive, right? So, meditation. All right, let's say I'm mute. So, sorry about that. Can you hear me, Han? And can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, great. Sorry about the disturbance. I was trying to confirm it was recording, and I ended up into a place where the computer itself was making noise. All right, for your sake, I've already got enough to hear, but I'm going to restart for your sake. I'm just going to do a quick run through. So we're today talking about chapter 10, right? And the title is saying that it's better to be brave than to be alone. Just trying to compare the two together, because when you're brave, you're going to lose friends, right? So what you won't be brave if you're scared of being alone, then you cannot be brave. Because some people will not support you because you are standing for what you believe. So you have to choose between the two of them. Do you want to be brave, or do you want to be, follow the crowd, right? And that's the basic trend. That there was a quote I shared, but I'll put that in the slides later on. Just talking about the fact that if you care about what people think, then you will never grow. You never follow your heart. You never follow that which is burning on the inside of you, because always be people's prisoner, because you'll be someone that does not want to rough on the boat, and if you don't want to rough on the boat, then you rock the boat, then you cannot make waves. If you can't make waves, then you cannot be spectacular. If you cannot be spectacular, then you're just ordinary. And that's not what we're created to be. None of us was created to be ordinary. Right? And here it was just talking about the fact that don't throw away the opportunities. Right? Opportunities will always come, but there's only a certain number of opportunities that will come in your lifetime, because none of us lives forever. For the time we're here, there's only a certain number. Your ability to harness the maximum number of opportunities is dependent on you being ready when they come. If you're not ready, then they'll just come and go like the waves of the sea. Your ability to harness anyone is that you are ready before it comes, right?
Right.
And so this quote here by Rob Sultanian, was made and is made popular by Steve Jobs, because it was somebody quoted at a commencement he gave at one, I think it was at Stanford. He gave a commencement talk at Stanford University, and he made this pretty common from that commencement talk. And the fact that where he talks about that, explaining the fact that the people that make waves, the people that make a difference in life, are typically the ones we call crazy, people that we call misfit, because they don't go with peer pressure, right? They are people that are rebels because they're not going with the normal flow where everybody is going. They don't go with the heads. right? They know who they are and they decide to be who they are and follow their own path, not the path of everybody, right? They go against what you call groupthink. Groupthink is not of God. Groupthink is something that fights or struggles against individuality. It wants that we are all just going together, irrespective of whether you like it or not. That's not of God. You're going to miss God if you get sold to groupthink, because groupthink is, buys to a cult mentality whereby there's a drive to kill individuality, right? And sometimes in some churches, not understanding what that is, they seem to want to imbibe that. But we're all going to stand before the judgment seat of Christ. None of us is going to come as a crowd. It won't be that I belong to this cult or that church or whatever. It's going to be I come as me, and that God wants us to take responsibility for that outcome. So I'm just going to try and break this quote down. So it talks about the ones who see things differently, right? For you to be able to make a difference, you have to be able to see beyond what everybody sees, what is ordinary. Jim Rohn will talk about being a student of the obvious, right? Being able to see the obvious in the seeming ordinary of everyday life, because the things that truly stand out are obvious, but they're just not visible to the normal person because it's too carried away with the way things are, right? It's the same way we define common sense. Common sense is that sense that is common to all, right? Or how do I say? It's supposed to be common to all, but it's not common to all, or no, not everybody imbibes it. The same way when we talk about things that are obvious, there are things we don't see, which we're supposed to see, but we don't see because our heads are buried in the sand, right? And it talks about these are the people that go against the status quo, because the status quo sometimes is status quo out of fear, out of some group pressure, out of people not wanting to protect themselves, not wanting to do what is right, right? And so he talks about these people are the people that they disagree with the norm because they see something higher, right? And they're the ones that move us forward. And if you look through history, you see that a lot of people that make the difference, that brought us in evolving civilization, were people that had to stand out against the norm, right? Whether it be in the church or in everyday life, that's what we see, right? The Wright brothers, designed the plane. Even the church was against it. It was like, how can you be designing plane? That. Um, people refuse to press into bigger things in God. Jesus Christ gives an example of the Pharisees, that they don't want to enter and they are preventing other people from entering also. And that's what we see in the generality of life. People don't want to grow. They don't want to take the risk to go to better things. And not only do they not want to grow, they don't want other people to grow also, right? They tend to want to pull them down. Is that story of I think was it monkeys or frogs that they put into some boiling pot, and some were trying to move away, but no, it was an experiment. I think it was monkeys that they were trying to give them bananas, and they stretched their hand and they were beating them. Even the ones that wanted to try, those that had the old experience, were pulling them back, right? Because they were limited by their experience, as it were. And alrighty. So, I mean, that's just the quote itself, but let's move on. We'll break it further down as we go ahead. And this other one here is also another popular quote, but this one is by Theodore Roosevelt, which I've forgotten his number right now, but was one of the presidents of the United States, right? And he talks about the fact that, it's the man in the arena. It's very easy to complain. It's very easy to be on the sideline. But the people that make a difference in life are the people that get onto the arena and play their own game. Life is not about sitting on the sideline and watching others or complaining or hailing or describing others. We all were called here to live. This life is not a practice session, it's the life itself. Yeah, right. And the difference to make and what we get out of life, the fulfillment we get out of life is by we playing our own part in the journey, right? And good, you spoke about the fact that you started your own Instagram group. That is being in the arena, right? The taste of the pudding is in the eating, is not in reading about it, it's not in talking about it. And I'm sure as you're running your Instagram post, you're now beginning to understand how difficult it might be to come up with a topic, an idea, or you have an idea, you are beginning to see that it's not just enough to have the idea, but then you have to think about how to communicate it, how to say it in such a way that the people everywhere will understand you and not misunderstand you. Right? You begin to see the challenges, and with those challenges, as you solve them, you grow thereby and become better and better. Right? But you only become better and you grow and make a difference by stepping into the arena, not staying on the sideline. Yes. All right. And so this is a quote here, talking about that for you to be able to make a difference, for you to be able to be brave, you have to trust yourself. You have to trust your gut feeling. You have to trust what the inside of you is saying, right? Maybe I should defer this and talk about this first of all. I mean, this was a quote there in the book, where Jamie refers to what she heard Oprah say, and that helped her in making a decision in standing out, for what she believed in, and it's a question, right, from Oprah, and probably just goes well with my own book, which is coming out. The title of my coming book is I Am Energy, right? And Oprah here talks about what will you do with the energy that is you. We all are endowed. We have energy, we have power, right? We have potentials, we have talents. Question is, what are we going to do with it? Are we just going to be like the one who was given one talent and hold it to give back to the master? This is the one talent you gave to me, take it back. Are we going to be like the ones who got 5 talents and 2 talents, who will make profit with it and be able to give to the master profit? I mean, whether we step out or not, it will determine that, And for you to be able to step out on that, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in what is ringing on the inside of you, what that still small voice on the inside of you, right? And to be able to even believe that and receive that, also, you have to forgive yourself, because sometimes we've come through times of failures. Well, we've disappointed ourselves. We've done some things that we feel ashamed of. For as long as you hold on to that shame, you will not be able to believe yourself. You'll not be able to push forward. I mean, you have to accept the fact that you're human and you have limitations, and accept your limitations and push beyond them, right? And you have to be grateful for the life you have. You should be able to use that life adequately in honor of the one who has given you life, right? And still talking about believing yourself, look at Vanessa Angel's quote here. Like I said, it's for you to be able to stand bravely, you have to first of all be brave on the inside. It's part of what we looked at in the last book we read, is having self-worth, having self-respect, having your self-esteem in the right place, right? And this person says, if you don't want to spend the rest of your life, being short-ended, right? If you want to perform serious deeds, you want to fulfill the call of your heart, you want to be fulfilled, then you would have to, first of all, you need to learn to believe in yourself, right? That's a key word, because if you don't believe in yourself, no other person will believe you. If you don't believe in yourself, then you will not listen to the still small voice and push beyond the boundaries and barriers that are holding you captive. You would always want to look for people to comfort you, pity parties, right? It's critical to believe in yourself if you want to make waves in life.